gamers, welcome to Fallout 4. This has been on my agenda since we did New Vegas, and people turned me away. They turned me down. They soured me on it. They were like, Fallout 4 sucks, dude. Big thumbs down. Let's do something else. And I was like, all right, I'll trust that court of opinion. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I kind of want to know what it's about, especially after Starfield, where I was like, this isn't even a game. Like, this is just like a series of places that exist and nothing happens. So it's been languishing in the back of my mind. It's like, I really do want to find out what's going on with it, especially as more people are like, it's really good, actually, if you mod it. All right, so we're playing Fallout 4. That's the story. I wish I could tell you it started well. I wish I could sit here and say to you, you know what? After all the back chat I've seen and all the derogatory comments that we booted it up and went sailing, but that is not true. But I'm not going to languish on it here today. Let's just say it took 7 hours. 7 hours, and the VOD exists, so you can see it, of trying to get the game to work. I am not joking. I wish I was joking. It was 7 hours. I installed, so the general process was, going into it was like, oh, there's some visual updates and people have done some crazy modding. It's a Bethesda game, it's pretty normal. So I banged on some usual stuff that was recommended, you know, did my research. This one's like the best water one, this is the best graphics update, blah, 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 blah. Put that on. That took a long time. I in fact found a collection which was like, this is the ultimate like visual upgrade collection. I didn't want to mess with the story. Visual upgrade collection. It took me a long time to do that as a free user of Nexus mods, because I use it like once a year, maybe. I'm not a big modder. I have to click them all individually, and it was like 56 mods of stuff. Got it all installed and didn't work. Like, just immediately crashed out. And I was like, okay, what's going on? So then I did more Google foo, only to find out that the anniversary edition that Bethesda released of Fallout 4 relatively recently broke an absolute whack load of mods, and people just kind of gave up at that point. It's an older game. It's like 9 years old or whatever. And people were like, yeah, I'm done. Not doing it anymore. And then Bethesda released their own high texture update DLC. Which was like, hey, we're up-resing the game ourselves. You don't need to download mods, blah, 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 blah. I then looked into that, and people were like, this thing is terrible and tanks your PC to the ends of time. So I went back to modless, essentially. I was like, I don't care that much, right? I really don't. I'm here to play the game. I'm not bothered if it looks like photorealistic or whatever. I don't care. So I just stuck on the DLC. And we had a couple of mods that I wanted to play. One was like rename anything, and one was a couple of recommended ones that were like, this just makes the lighting way better. I was like, all right, that's fine. Got going. Played fine. Like, all I could test before we actually played was booting the game up, right? Because I don't want to spoil the story. So it got to like character creation in front of a mirror, and I was like, all right, game works. Fine, we'll leave it there. Worked fine for about 25 minutes until the story comes out, which we'll get to in a second. And then suddenly it broke, and it broke, and then it broke, and then it broke, and then it broke, and it broke, and it broke. I was like, okay, this is unplayable. I was getting frustrated. Tried for about an hour or so to get it going. Just wouldn't work. We found like certain things were breaking it. And then we had a lot of people coming in who are experienced with this, and they're like, okay, one big issue, because this is going to be relevant later, is the weapon debris fix. This has been an ongoing problem since the game launched, certainly on PC, with various systems, is the weapon debris. And there's fixes all over the place. So get this mod, which is the weapon debris fix. And then we had other people who were like, and this one here is a bug fixer, blah, 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 blah. So we did that. Still broke. Still broke. Just kept crashing all the time. Just crashed the desktop, crashed the desktop. It actually got worse than that. It started really screwing with my PC as a whole, like changing resolutions, just completely balking the whole system. So constantly having to restart my actual PC to try and get this thing going. So I was like, right, we'll just wipe everything off, get rid of it all. We're going completely modless, just so clean, kept going. Still wouldn't work. Now, at this point, the question rises, is because you started the game file with mods active, it's possible the game file itself is now screwed. We have to restart the game. Thankfully, we hadn't gone super far, right? I had gone past, I had just returned to Sanctuary. This will make more sense in a second, with a guy called Preston. So I was like, all right, we go fresh. And then the question was, here, this we know works with the Anniversary Edition. It was a mod collection called the Midnight Ride. Now, you're probably going to go, why did you bother doing this again? Because there are a lot of problems with Fallout 4. These are well-known, like genuinely really well-known issues with the game. And this one has been verified, like, within the last couple of weeks. The Midnight Ride has been verified. It's working. It's mostly unchanging. The game doesn't do much to it other than bug fixes. It's like a vast collection of bug fixes. So, in we go. Clean install. Actually uninstalled the game. Wiped everything. Every file we could find was gone. And reinstalled and then said, right, we'll do the Midnight Ride. Followed this intricate guide of how this had to work. It's the most absurd thing I've ever done in my life. For a video game, it was like, okay, you need to go here, change the Windows security settings. Now you need to enter this file. You need to change, go into the ini files over here, change these to false, this to true, this to 1 to 0. Now you need to go into here. Now you need to install this thing. And now you need to change this setting. It was a lot of minutia to get it working. But there's also a confidence that comes with that. It's like, well, it must work, right? If you're going to this level of granularity, this detail of what we're doing, it has to work, right? And so while we were doing this took about 2 hours, I think, to download all these things. We were shooting the breeze and looking at some houses people had made in Fallout 4. Very cool. And then it was like, all right, we're ready to go. I was like, what are the odds this is going to break? Booted the game up, crashed on the introduction cutscene. Just immediate. It said Bethesda Games and just crashed and died. At this point, I think it was nearly 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm done. I'm so done. I'm fried. I am fried at this point. I am the fried egg. I'm like, guys, I don't know if this is full bin. And the sad thing was, because you might be like, Mike, why are you even bothering? The bit I did get to play, which in total was about 2 hours with, you know, exploration and whatever, was really good. It was an interesting story concept. The gameplay was nice. I was like, the game itself actually seems fine. We just can't get the damn game to work. I'm not seeing, and obviously I've had disruption, I'm not seeing like some horror show. By 2 hours into Starfield, I was already like, this is odd. This isn't working. But I wasn't feeling that. I was like, this seems okay. This seems totally fine. We had a profit and blah, blah, blah. So I went away and I fixed it. What did I do? And this is for anybody who's playing Fallout 4 right now, who may be running into this similar issue. So it was the weapon debris problem. Again, it returned. Now, the first thing we did when we finished is we were in our team chat with a couple of the eggheads who work here. I'm like, it might be an AMD problem. Because we have had that, right? We have had that. And I use AMD systems and GPUs. And so I was like, it could be an AMD problem. It's not something that should be a problem, but it could be. And so we did some Googling with Fallout 4 AMD crash on loading. And sure enough, a Reddit thread appeared that said, okay, the weapon debris fix patch that people have updated from the Anniversary Edition. So so this is the hilarity of it. The first party version has a problem. The third-party add-on developers have developed a fix for that problem that's recently been made by the first party, which is Bethesda. They've made the fix for it. However, they prioritized NVIDIA cards first because they're like 90% of the GPU users, you know, of the PC users in the gaming market are using NVIDIA, so they fixed it for that, and it's not working with the AMD card. So I went to our other PC, I ripped out a 3080 GPU, slapped it in my PC, and boom, ran like a dream. Worked immediately. I was like, oh, that sucks, because my 9070, I think it's called, this big juicer is one of the best GPUs on the market. Right there. This bad boy right here is one of the best GPUs on the market. And I can't use it. It's a 9070 XT. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's on my desk. It can't be used. I've got a 3080 in there, which is still a very, very good GPU. So no complaints there. But it ran smooth. So there you go. That was my issue starting the game. Then we got to play the game. What do we think? All right. Really liked the start of this game. I liked that it was pre-war. We got to see some sort of home life living of the pre-war. Obviously, like Fallout 3 starts in the vault after everything's happened. Now we're seeing like what life, a little snapshot of life pre the bombs dropping. I am, just so people know, I am fully up to date with the TV show. I've been watching it with my kids. Very fun. But that's separate. It's like the New Vegas era. So it was really nice to see that. I hated the husband. I chose to play as the female. I absolutely detested the husband. Although I think the writers are just trying to get you as a tutorial to interact with various things, the attitude that comes across from this guy as a parent is just obnoxious as hell. He just sits on the couch watching TV and he's like, you get the door. Baby's crying. Go and deal with it. I'm like, go fuck yourself, dude. Like, absolutely not. Like, this is not... Whoever wrote this has no kids. Otherwise, you would... All they're trolling. Either or will work. But then you get to the character create. The stat allocation is really good. It's a guy who comes through the door working for Vault-Tec. He's like, okay, we're just doing a personality quiz with you. I was like, that fits really nicely. Thought that was good. And then we get, of course, the emergency of the bombs dropping. Excellent. Loved it. Loved all this. Thought it was great. Going down, it was very sus. Obviously, I can't help but look through the lens of me. They were definitely cryopods. They're like, hey, you need to go into this pod and get changed. I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. That's a stasis pod. I've seen enough sci-fi, bro. I know exactly what that is, and it's also looking really uncomfortable to get changed in there. Like, go fuck yourself. That is definitely a stasis pod, but you've got to go along with it as you get down there. And you get frozen, and thereby our story starts because we're directly opposite our husband, who is holding our baby Sean. And then at some point we unfreeze, and you see that some people show up to get Sean. They're like, open it up. This is the one. Take the baby. The husband resists, obviously, and gets shot in the head. Unlock. Whatever. And then you get refrozen and wake up later. So the information we're given once we meet Coggers again, Coggers is our home robot who's still in the town where we used to live, is that we've been under for 200 years. So it raises, obviously, a number of questions. When did we actually get unfrozen? The baby got taught. So I'm predicting we're going to see like our grandson, actually. Like Sean grew up, had a family, and had a child. And we're looking for them. That might not be true, though. Hard to say, because we did our first initial exploration where we visit a town called Concord, where raiders are attacking this little group of the Minutemen, or the last of the Minutemen, where there's a prophet in there who takes a lot of drugs. I hate this lady. Mama something she's called. Mama Murphy, maybe. Because she's hog. So it's like a World of Warcraft cutscene, right? Every time she speaks. But she genuinely is seemingly having visions of the future, which is backed up later. She just needs some drugs. She needs some jet to get going. But she will give you visions and foresight, which seems accurate. She says our son is out there and alive. So, but that could be interpreted in many ways. I've got my sci-fi nerd suspicions as to what the hell might be going on here. But off we go. And then it's time to play. One thing I really enjoyed so far is it's a really dense world. Like, not... Skyrim was kind of the same. You couldn't go very far in Skyrim without bumping into something. Which is why Starfield's so fucking weird. It's like they forgot how they did this stuff. Is you could barely move in the wasteland and there's something else. There's like, oh, there's an abandoned robotics facility here. Go check it out if you want. Oh, now there's a satellite dish here with a giant raider camp and a boss downstairs. All right, cool. Now there's this over here. Cool. Now you're at a drive-in, the Starlight Drive-In. You should clear it out, and now that can be a compound for you. You can turn this into a place to live. I'm like, oh, sick. And I'm probably going to do that today, is just not follow any story and just kind of mooch. I find that really fun. I like just getting into adventures, so to speak. But the main story, I haven't continued the main story. What I have done is follow our boy Preston, who's now a companion. Got a dog. Not calling it dog meat. That's a horrible name. He's called Snuffles. But we got a dog. If they kill this dog, I will kill everybody in the wasteland. Good, bad, ugly, whatever. Everybody dies if the dog dies. I swear to God, Todd, if you hurt this dog, I'm going to mess you up. I'm pretty sure you can't. Unless it's for story reasons. I got my eye on you, Todd. Like, you hurt the dog, everybody dies. Like, I will drop nukes all over this place. Just letting you know. Had a fight with a Deathclaw and a power armor. It was a nice introduction. Not sure they should have introduced the Deathclaw that early, or maybe they were trying to let new players know, like, if you see a Deathclaw and you've not got a minigun with power armor, you might not want to mess around with that. But I prefer the fear of, like, oh, that looks bad, later in the game. But Deathclaw within the first half hour. All right, sure. But from the main story, I'm doing some settlement stuff. Not super into the building. One thing I might do is turn on the infinite inventory capacity, because clearly they want you to, like, build out the settlements, which is fine. Like, I don't mind playing a little bit of Sims and putting gun turrets and stuff up. I'm not going to be super creative with it. But I don't mind doing that, but I'm certainly not going to, like, go backwards and forwards picking up, like, desk fans and staplers and crap to, like, achieve that. So yeah, I'm not doing that. So if I want to build some stuff, I might just get an infinite inventory to do so. My main focus of the actual end of the day was an attack on a car plant, Corvega, I think it's called, which was just monolithic. There must have been 60, 70 enemies there. My favorite build so far is just running around stabbing people. I've got a machete, and it's really good. It cuts heads off. I like that. I like that. There's a lot of blood. It's good. The guns and stuff is fine, and the game is obviously gun leaning. Let's say that. Just running around melee is just way more satisfying for me. I put all my points into melee damage, and so I can just like slice people up and mess them up. Probably not going to work against Deathclaw later, but that's Future Mike's problem. We'll see how it goes. But I will say this: so far, so good. Lots to do. Interesting little backstories. I've drained a quarry, but it's taking a long time to drain, so there's going to be more story there. And one thing I'm looking for is just a lot of mini stories. My main story mission is to go to somewhere called Diamond City. I'm not sure what that is. I've been to Boston in real life, and this is set in Boston. I had no idea what Diamond City could be. I keep trying to think, is it like the Diamond District? I didn't go to a Diamond District. Or I didn't find one. There will be one, but I didn't go there. Like Diamond City, so I don't know what that's going to be, but I've not gone there yet because I'm just doing other stuff. It's just more fun, rescuing people, and seemingly I have met the Brotherhood of Steel. Yes, I should talk about that. The Brotherhood of Steel. It took all my willpower not to kill all of them. There's not many. There's 3. There's Paladin Dance and 2 others. One is the Scribe Halen, I think she's called, who you discover be a chit chat and some logs that she's not into the Brotherhood of Steel at all. She bought into the ideal that they were selling, right? She totally bought the Kool-Aid. It's like, we're going to bring peace to the wastelands. And she's like, yeah, we just ended up killing a lot of people. It's not that peaceful, actually. Not that peaceful. But the obnoxious self-righteousness of the Brotherhood is played up extraordinarily on your nose in this. Paladin Dance is just a jerk, as well as the other guy who's there, and I can't remember what he's called, but they're like, we hate you. Like, pretty much, it's so blunt. It's like, yeah, you suck. And if you want to hang with us, you got to prove yourself. And you're like, I saved you guys from, like, the attack of the ghouls. Whatever, bro. And I was debating killing them. I did kill them, but I had to reload because Paladin Dance has a big gun, which I now have. But I was also kind of curious where the story goes. I can always abandon them later. I did a quest with Paladin Dance where we took on a facility and got them a transmitter. I'm a little worried about that because I think we may be summoning more of the Brotherhood. So I might have made things worse. maybe I made things worse. I don't know. But afterwards he gave me his big gun and then he was like, do you want to join the Brotherhood? I'm like, no. But I deferred it because maybe I do for story purposes and maybe things will change later on. But you can just be like, yeah, not now. Because, what's he called? Preston's there and he's like, remember I'm the general of the Minutemen. So he's like, remember you've got the Minutemen as well. So I don't know whether you can only be part of one faction. I doubt it, but I don't want to join the Brotherhood because they seem like dickheads. So I'm not going to do that. But so good so far. Like, I'm not seeing yet this game sucks thing that people, I'm getting a lot of comments of people just typing like, this is the worst game I ever played. And I'm like, I'm not seeing that. Like, not even close. Is it going to be New Vegas? And here's my stance on that. I'm going to do a take for you. It's hot. Regarding New Vegas. New Vegas is standalone a phenomenal game. Like, in any genre. It's just great. Those are diamonds in the rough. It's a bit Expedition 33 like. Expedition 33 isn't just a really great turn-based RPG. It's just a phenomenal game. And so is New Vegas. I'm comparing this to Fallout 3. Because that's what I know from these, and New Vegas was made by different people, and New Vegas you can play without knowing anything about Fallout and just have a fantastic time, and it's one of those that's like, just sits high on its own plinth, right? I compared it to 3, and so far compared to 3, this is infinitely better. Infinitely better. Way better. The only thing that I would say is the mini stories aren't as layered as they were in Fallout 3, like going straight to, I forget the name of the town that's got the nuke in the middle of it, like that was a good opener. The Minutemen, not so much. They obviously wanted to include so that start is a little rougher, but game-wise, better so far. Like, there's intrigue, there's mystery, there's an overarching story that isn't just find your dad, you know, there's some sort of emotional connection of finding your son. Not everybody will feel that, but I get it. So, yeah, I like that a lot more. Just the first maybe 20 minutes aren't as good. No, they are. The intro is good. It's just the first coming out, going to Concord. going meeting the Minutemen isn't as good as going to the town with the bomb. I think it's called Megaton. That's not as good, but like we're bumping into other stuff like the quarry and the Milurks are coming out, underground bunkers, sewers, all that kind of stuff. I'm into. So far so good. Will this change? Check in for the next video. See you then. Bye, guys.